last. So let's get into the John Cena topic, because that is probably the biggest news coming out of this pay-per-view. Actually, it is the biggest news coming out of this pay-per-view.
Definitely.
It is that, for every single time, Reg, I have seen every single interview that John Cena has done. I at least read the news on it, right? And I swear, every single month, John Cena tells people he's retiring here. John Cena tells US Magazine this, GQ this, blah, 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 this. It's always about his retirement and when it's going to happen, right? At some point, I almost start wanting to stop reading them, because I'm like, he tells you things, but doesn't really tell you things. And then you get a little bit of like, oh, it's coming soon or whatever, right? So he comes out here today. He's introduced by Trish Stratus. He goes out there and he basically says that he is there to announce his retirement. And I'm thinking, you're going to have a match though, right? Like, this isn't it, like right here, right now. Like, what are we doing?
It was weird for a second there. When he initially said it, I was like, this is it? This isn't a way to retire, Cena?
Right. And he took a while to get there. He's like, I love the Canadians. And I'm like, so you're retiring right now? You're not retiring right now, right? Like, what's happening here?
There was a couple of fake outs in this, Denise, because he faked us out right there. And then at the end, he's like, who wants to fight? It felt like he was calling somebody out to fight too. I'm like, what is John Cena doing to us right now?
Yes, but then he kept going, because then he goes, then he starts talking about Netflix, right? Mm-hmm. And he starts saying like, I want to be a part of it. So I'm like, okay, he's retiring on the first Raw Netflix. Is that what's happening? Like, what is happening here? I'm just trying to make out what you're saying. Then he goes and he says, Royal Rumble 2025. And I'm like, oh my God, the last match is Royal Rumble. And then he goes, Elimination Chamber 2025. Okay, the Elimination
That's the
Chamber.
one. Yep, that's the last match.
Finally, WrestleMania. And I'm like, okay, well, you could have just gotten there from the beginning, because that's what I had originally thought, that if you're going to retire, it's going to happen. I had said first, I'm on SummerSlam, WrestleMania.
Right.
That's really what my creative process was. But John Cena kind of beat around the bush until he finally got there. But that's the thing, though. We are going to be getting sort of like this finale mini tour, I guess you can say, for John Cena, where he's going to be, like you mentioned, at Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and then WrestleMania being that last and final match. So there's a lot to kind of get into with this. So first and foremost, Reg, what was your initial impression of this in terms of him making this announcement?
I had that kind of thought that you had, because like he's done a bunch of promos over the last like 3 years, or interviews where he's like, this is it, you guys, this is it. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, I don't know. And so when Trish introduced him, it was like, oh, what's happening here? And him immediately being like, I'm retiring, you guys, was like, whoa. When you really think about it, it's like, he was on top for so long, Denise. Like, there was like a straight 15 years where John Cena was the top guy in this company. And so many memories, so many people that watch pro wrestling or WWE now, they started with John Cena. Like, he is their Hogan, like Hogan was to us, like John Cena is to them. And so for a bunch of people, this is trauma. To him finally being like, I'm out of here, you guys. My last match is going to be at WrestleMania. But I'm honestly happy he's doing it like out loud and it's not a mystery anymore. Because it felt like when he did the solo match or when he did the break thing, like, was that it? Like, are you done here? But he didn't ever say it. I'm like, I'm happy he's like, this is going to be it, you guys. At these dates will be the exact time when you'll see me for the last time. And to announce it that long before WrestleMania in Vegas, that's going to be insane. I'm happy for Cena, man. He like dominated the industry when the industry first didn't want him to. He was in positions that the whole time he was on top, there were people trying to get him down from there. He made a career out of nothing essentially and became one of the biggest superstars in wrestling history. He deserves like Hall of Fame, like everything WWE. Give it all to him. It's Cena. It's great. But the things that he talks about, like being a part of Netflix, I think is really exciting. Like, what do you think it's going to look like when they debut over there? If Cena's going to be there, like, do you think they're going to try to get edgy, Denise? Do you think they're going to change the whole presentation? I'm so excited to see what happens.
Right. So with that, to answer your question on that, I do think that first of all, with this announcement, what they did was they upped the value on everything.
Yep.
Because from now on, all of a sudden, you're going to care more about being at the Royal Rumble. You're going to
It's
care
called
more.
John Cena's farewell tour. You're right.
You're
Yep.
going to care more about the weekly television. Is he going to be on? He didn't really clarify. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be seeing him on a weekly basis or at least a little bit more on like the Raws or the SmackDowns. I know he mentioned Raw on Netflix. So we're going to be expecting him there, of course. So now it's a situation where suddenly those shows are going to matter a whole lot more because this is it for John Cena. So the value has gone up. On top of that, the value went up on WrestleMania. I mean, think about that because here's the thing, Reg. They could have done with John Cena what they did with Sting, right? Where you get your own show and it's kind of just for you because John Cena is that kind of a person that you can do something like this. If they wanted to do just one night where it's all about John Cena, 1000% could have done that. But of course, because WrestleMania is the end all be all for WWE, that's where you're going to do it. So great. Of course, amazing to have his final match be at WrestleMania. But it definitely brings up the value a whole lot in this. And now I'm thinking, because when you think about this, you know, obviously Roman Reigns is a big star. We know that, but he's still a big star within primarily the confines of pro wrestling.
Totally.
John Cena is one of the last guys that has broken out in terms of isn't just famous for pro wrestling. He's famous for what he does outside too. If you talk to a lot of younger kids nowadays, they just know John Cena as the John Cena, the guy that they see on TV shows or movies or whatever, wherever it is that they see John Cena. So John Cena is one of those performers that, again, you want to do something special. So I raise the question to you and I bring the question to everybody here. What if you have John Cena become a 17-time world champion before he retires in order to have him be the one, you know, be the guy, the seventh that breaks the record?
Everybody in the chat is saying that he announced at the scrum that he's going to be here for all of 2025 in WWE, I guess.
So I'm guessing
until
from
December.
January 1st through WrestleMania. So
no,
that
till December.
period.
He announced at the scrum he's going to be there till December. Yeah.
December 2025?
Yeah, for the whole year. He's going to do 30 dates, he says.
So then when's the last match? It's not at WrestleMania?
No. He confused us again, Denise. Yeah, they're saying he announced it that he's going to do 30 dates for the whole year, essentially.
I just went on this whole freaking talk about...
Don't matter. None of it matters. Yep. None of it matters. Yep. Don't care. He'll be here for 30 dates instead of the 3 that you thought he was going to be here for.
Bro, he's confusing the hell out of me. Am I crazy? I'm not the only person who's confused here.
Royal Rumble. Denise is like, damn, Royal Rumble's going to be great. Psych. Elimination Chamber. Oh, yeah. Elimination Chamber. That's amazing. Just kidding. WrestleMania. And Denise is like, damn, WrestleMania is his last match. And he's still like, psych.
I'm done, John Cena. Send me an invite, man. I'll RSVP, please.
Tell us the official last date. Just like put it in writing and we'll be there.
All right. So with that being said, now I guess I can add, I had just said he could be that guy that they do a specific show for where it's like John Cena's. I mean, I don't want to call it John Cena's last match or whatever, because, you know, but they could do something like that now.
I think my question is, one, yes, I think he can do the 17-time championship thing. That way you get that away from that old man over there. My thing is, do you do it? Do you have him beat Cody, or do you have him win the Raw championship, and would that dilute it?
So I think it could be the World Heavyweight Championship, because I don't think he's won that. He hasn't won this version of
you're
like
right.
This new lineage that they're doing of the World Heavyweight Championship. So I think if they could do either or. I mean, it's John Cena. I mean, he's going to be getting a shit ton of publicity for this, so you might as well milk what you can get, because he's obviously a 3-time former World Heavyweight Champion, but not from this current lineage that we're seeing of the World Heavyweight Championship.
Right.
So, I mean, they could do either or, and either or would be something huge. But I do think that there's a really awesome chance for them to have John Cena be the guy in the history books that gets that 17-time world champion.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody, it's either him or Orton, I guess, at this point. And like, it makes more sense for it to be Cena. If he was just doing a couple of matches, I'd say no on him winning the championship. But if he's going to be there for 30 or so dates, like, give that man the belt. Give it to him.
30 dates. Someone do the math. Let me see.
Hold on. I wonder how many of those are going to be matches is the thing.
So that's at least, I'm so bad at math, 2.5 appearances a month.
I mean, there's 52 weeks in a year, so that's, that's a lot of Raws.
So there you go. We can count on John Cena pretty much being there throughout 2025.
Who's your John Cena, not like Randy Orton? Who do you want to see him wrestle out of this kind of new crop of people?
I don't really have like a name that I'm like, oh my God, I must see this. But a lot of people were mentioning Gunther. And so now they kind of sold me on the idea, and I'm easily sold, Reg.
Why y'all trying to get? How old is John Cena? Y'all trying to get this old man's ass beat by? What's the first match you want to see John Cena? I want to see him get his ass beat. It's like, no, we want to see him come in and do the nostalgic stuff.
Oh man, I mean, he's not gonna go in there and freaking have matches with, I don't know who sucks. Whoever sucks, it's got to be good. You got him for 30 dates, bro. I mean, he's probably not going to be wrestling all 30 days
anymore.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So regardless, he's going to be in there with a tough competitor.
Not if you put him in there with like Grayson Waller.
Poor Grayson Waller catching strays on this pod.
I like Grayson Waller.
You just chose. All right. So, I mean, not all the 30 times that he's there, he's going to be wrestling. He could just come out and be like, hey, guys, what's up? John Cena over here. But that's it. That's all they need. And it's going to sell a shit ton of tickets.
You got to have at least 15 of those be matches then, like half of it.
I don't know, man. Do you feel, how many did he have the last time he was doing his run in WWE?
Not that many. I think he might have went on the house show run, though. It might have been a lot.
Nah. All right. Well, we'll figure this out. But anyway, so that's what's going on with John Cena.
Interesting.
There is one major thing that I want to close off with before we wrap up the John Cena topic. Mm-hmm. And I had mentioned this on my podcast, and on my watch along, and I mentioned it again. And that is that on the bright side of all of this, because I know people are going to be sad, they're going to be bummed. Like, man, if John Cena's got to retire, that means we're all old, blah, blah, blah. We all start getting in our feels, right? The pro of all of this is that John Cena got to retire on his own terms. That is honestly, to me, the biggest pro, because I had mentioned an example, and this is a big example, Triple H. Triple H didn't get to do that. Triple H, things happen with his health, and unfortunately, he didn't get to retire on his own terms.
Most famous didn't retire on his own terms. Right there over your shoulder, he'll tell you every day about fucking Bill Goldberg.
Every time he talks to Bret Hart,
he's like, "My career was ended by this fool, and I wasn't ready."
Yes, exactly that. And then also, I also brought up this other example, and this is not that it wasn't necessarily on his own terms, but he kind of got screwed, and that was Kurt Angle with the Baron Corbin thing.
Yeah.
Again, not everybody gets the option to have some say in who their last opponent's going to be, how they're going to do it, and all of that stuff's, I really, really love what AEW did with Sting. What AEW did with Sting was phenomenal, and I think more wrestlers deserve send-offs like that.
This needs to put that in the dirt if we're keeping it real. For what John Cena did for WWE, this needs to be the most over the top. They need to give him every flower in the world. They have to give him everything because he did so much for this company that he really deserves the sickest farewell we could ever see.
Yeah, man, honestly. And I guess we'll find out the date at some point. So it's not WrestleMania 41, guys. I'm sorry, all right? Don't shoot the messenger, please.
It's still going to be a hot show, though. John Cena's going to be there.
Yeah. The last WrestleMania with John Cena. There you go. That's how we can word it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we word it. All right, we got one buck here who says, is John Cena's last match a win or a loss? I got to say a win. I think it's nice. Come on, imagine had Sting lost his. Like it's got to be a win.
Historically, you're supposed to go out on your back, but who's he gonna beat, Denise? That's the thing. Like, is he gonna beat Randy Orton for his last match? Because that's like one of his biggest rivalries. I think that's right there.
I don't know who's gonna be on his last match, but I just think it's nice to end with a win. It doesn't feel right if it ends with a loss. It just doesn't feel right to me. I'm sorry. I think it needs to be a win.
Undertaker, like all these people lose on their way out. Shawn
Yeah,
Michaels.
come on. Let's change things, Reg. Come on.
Okay.
It's so nice.
I think it might, in John Cena's case, him winning would probably hit a little bit harder just because he's historically known for winning. So I kind of agree.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We need to have nice things. Can we just have nice things? This could be a nice thing.
This
Please.
could be a nice thing. I agree.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right.